Chief Peguis Band students. This is Mrs. Prosick, and this is a little video I'm putting together to show you guys how to use the website musictheory.net. This would be really useful for the grade 6s who have not used this website yet, and would be a good refresher for the 7s and 8s if you guys can't remember how to access the website. So first things first, if you'd like to access it through Teams, which you've probably been working with this last week, figuring out how to use it, you can go to the Chief Peguis Middle School website. You're going to click on Office 365, and it's going to ask you to sign into your account. So that's just the way you would sign in at school. So your email with your first initial and last name and your password. Once you're logged in, you're just going to be on the main Microsoft Office homepage. We're going to want to find Teams. So we're going to click on All Apps, and we're going to scroll down to Teams here. It's all in alphabetical order, so it'll be close to the bottom. Once you click on that, you'll notice mine is going to look a little bit different than yours. All my classes are Teams, so I have many more than you do. So don't worry if it looks a little bit different. Okay, but when you do load it up, you're going to notice something like this on your dashboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the 6DE band team, just because it's the first grade 6 class I see here, and I'm going to show you how to access musictheory.net. So you can see on the Posts tab, there have been a few things uploaded recently. Ms. Perkins has uploaded links to Quest of the Black Knight and Shine, and also the yellow sheet with the vocabulary and symbols that you guys went over in class. You can also see that I've uploaded a link to a website, Music Theory. You can go ahead and just click on that, but as more people start typing things and more things are being added, we might lose this little box. So to find it, you just look at the top bar here, and you can see Music Theory pop up. Okay. As I add more things to the top, you may notice it doesn't show up here right away. In that case, you'd click on this little area where it says 1 more, 2 more, and you're going to see more things pop up there. Okay. But once you've clicked on Music Theory, you can see that the website actually pops up right inside of Teams. So you can go ahead and use the website here. I really like having the full screen effect, so I'm going to go ahead and go right to musictheory.net through my web browser. So musictheory.net. Okay, theory is a really tricky word to spell, so don't worry if you need to try a couple of times. But once you do that, you get to this website. Okay. Next thing you're going to want to do is go to the Exercises tab. Okay. You can explore this website on your own, go to lessons and that sort of thing, but we're going to focus on note identification. So once you're there, you can see that I've actually been playing around with this a little bit already today. So I've answered some questions. There's a timer going. I'm going to go ahead and just reset that. Back to nothing. Okay. Next thing you're going to want to do is adjust your settings. So I'm going to go to this little wheel here, which is the Settings tab, and I'm going to customize my exercise. So if you are flute, clarinet, trumpet, French horn, any of the saxophones, you're good to go. You already play in treble clef. You don't need to change that. Okay? But if you're a tuba, euphonium, trombone, you're going to notice that you will need to change your clef to bass clef. So all you do is turn off treble clef, turn bass clef on. Okay? And if you're for some reason not sure which clef you should be using, check your music. You'll see the clef at the beginning of all of your music. And for today, I'm going to work in treble clef. Next thing you're going to do is set a range of notes. So from low to high. I'm going to set them as if I were a trumpet or a clarinet, I know that you guys have done down to the note B and up to the note A. Okay, so this would be a really good place to start because you know all the notes in between here. If I were a flute, maybe my range would look something like that. Okay. If I were, depending on the kind of saxophone I play, maybe my range might look something like this. Okay, it really depends on your instrument. Okay, so that's a great place to start, is the notes that you know. So I'm going to set it as if I were a trumpet. Okay. Next thing you're going to want to do is make sure the accidentals tab is turned off. Okay. Accidentals are sharps and flats, and they raise and lower the note a little bit. It's just another level that we don't need to have right now. If you want to challenge yourself, go ahead and turn it on, but otherwise we're going to leave it off for now. Okay? So my customization looks a little something like this, and then I'm ready to get started. So if you want to start at 0 seconds, you can go ahead and just reset that score again. And now we're fresh, 0, ready to go. So this first note here I know is F. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the letter F. Okay. As you're answering these questions, you may find this very easy. You may find it very difficult. The idea is just to give it a try and practice and do your best. If you're really struggling and you feel like you need some help, there is something you can do. If you go back to your customization and turn on helpers, I'll show you what that does. Okay? It labels the spaces and the lines of the staff. Okay? That's going to give me just a little bit of extra help if I can't quite figure out what the note is supposed to be. So this one that shows up here, if I'm not sure what that is, I can look over to the side and say, oh, that is the note E. Okay. Now, if something like this comes up where it's low or higher than the staff, you'll have to do a little bit of figuring out. It's a little bit trickier. So if I know my alphabet, which I'm sure you all do, then this is really easy. Okay? I know that a note on this line is E. So if I'm going down, if my notes are getting lower and lower and lower, that means I'm going backwards in the alphabet. So I'll start on E, I'll go down to the next space, and that would be the note D. I go down one more to this note on the line, and I would know that that is C. Okay, same thing. I would start with E, and I go down to D. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. It works the same if you were doing higher notes as well. So let's change the range here a little bit. Okay. If I know that this note on this line is F, and my notes are getting higher, I'm going to go forward in the alphabet. So here I have F, I'm going to go up to G. Okay, let's try this one. We have F, G, let me go to A. Okay, this is a really tricky one. Let's see if we can do this. We have F, G, A, B, C. Okay, and if you happen to get one wrong, no big deal. You try again. Okay, and it'll keep track of your progress at the top. Once you're done, let's say you've done 5 to 10 minutes, or you set a goal for maybe answering 100 questions, whatever it is, you can actually send me a progress report. So you're going to go to the three little dots here, and you are going to click on Show Progress Report. Okay. Put your name in here. If you could do first and last name, or at least your initial of your last name, that would be really helpful because there are some people who have the same first name. Once I've done that, I'm going to sign the report. And this is what I'm going to end up seeing, is the settings that you used, your percent, how much time you were practicing for, the range, all that stuff. And anytime you change a setting, there's a new tab that opens up here. So I can see if you had the helpers on or off, if you changed that, and that'll give me an idea of how you're doing. Okay. What you're going to do is press Copy Link. Okay, just going to click on that, and that copies that link to your clipboard. Okay, so you're going to be able to paste that into an email or conversation with me so that I can click on that and see how you're doing. Okay, so copy link, and there's two ways that you can send this to me. Okay, the first way is going back to your Teams app. And if you go into chat, you can select my name. It may or may not show up in the suggested tab. If it doesn't, you can click on this little icon here and type in my email or my name, and that will have me show up as a contact for you. Okay. I'm going to send my progress report to Mr. Campbell. You can see I sent him one earlier today. And it's really easy. All I do is I right click, I select paste, and enter. So now he's able to click on this link and see how I'm doing with my music reading. I love if you send me a little message. That would be awesome as well. You know, let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you have questions. That's always appreciated. So if I click on this now, that same progress report you were seeing here shows up in a little tab for me. So I can see all the information, I see how you're doing, what you might be struggling with, what you're doing awesome with, and then I can give you feedback from there. Okay. The second way that you could send me this information is by an email. So you could use your own personal email if you like, or you can go back to your Microsoft Office home and select Outlook. You can click on New Message. And you're going to type in my email address, KPROCYK@retsd.nb.ca. I might even pop up as a contact, but if you haven't sent me an email before, I might not. Okay, so try typing it in first and see what happens. You can let me know this is your music theory progress report. And again, I'm just going to right click and paste. Again, a little message. Let me know how things are going. Hi, Mrs. Prosick. Here's my progress report. I wish we were in school right now. Well, maybe you don't, but I sure do. It's going to be really weird not seeing you guys on Monday. I was really looking forward to it. Okay, once you have that all in there, send it off, and boom, there it is. And again, I can click on that and see how you're doing. Okay? So if you have any questions, the best way to get a hold of me is by using Microsoft Teams, okay, going to chat, and sending me a message. I'm going to have the Teams app downloaded to my phone, so I'll get your questions right away, and I'll be able to answer and help you out.